In a radio interview in 2024, Frank Auerbach talked about Turner's painting The Fighting Temeraire and said that the painting set, and I quote, a standard of grandeur and freedom that is, in a sense, also a moral lesson. His language is unusual. People do not generally talk about painting in terms of grandeur and freedom, and while we're used to works of art that tackle hard political and moral subjects, people don't often talk about the painting process itself as having a moral dimension. It's worthwhile then, I think, to try and think about what Auerbach might have meant when he said these things. The painting shows an old naval ship, a survivor from the Battle of Trafalgar, at the end of its service, being towed by a steam tug to be dismantled. It's often seen as an elegiac response to the passing of the age of sail and the onset of industrialisation. The sunset amplifies this idea. There is a grandeur then to the subject matter, but I don't think this is exactly what Auerbach had in mind. In Turner's painting he says, and I quote again, "Every single mark seems invented into a vacuum. If he came off the tightrope and made one single banal mark on the paper, the whole thing would collapse." So it's not just the subject matter which is grand, but also the way that thinking about that subject matter has led Turner to mark the canvas, so that for Auerbach there is not one single banal mark in the painting to spoil the effect. And when he says about every mark being invented into a vacuum, he is drawing attention to the unprecedented nature of the enterprise. Everything is seen as if for the first time, and every mark is a discovery. Auerbach's comments, then, do not centre on subject matter, nor do they centre on technique. It is not simply technique that prevents the marks from becoming banal. Rather, it is that the painting succeeds in showing a total grasp of itself. The thing is conceived as a single, indivisible whole, and this is highly unusual. Mostly when we think, or speak, or act, we are off balance, maybe not by much, but in our desire to get what we want from a situation, we lose that sense of wholeness. The overwhelming majority of our thoughts, words and actions are directed towards some goal or other, and our focus on the goal leads us to overlook so many other features of our experience. Art is an area where this incessant focus on goals does not apply, since the goal of art, in many cases, is to make something that sustains attention and repays contemplation. As the focus on goals falls away, art becomes a demonstration of human freedom and a picture of what it might be. This is a grand subject, no matter what the subject matter or lack of it might be. What Auerbach implies, I think, is that when we look at an artwork like this, it gives us an intimation of the full scope of human life as the practice of freedom. We want our lives to be whole and full and without a single banal mark, and so, as Auerbach says, the painting acts like a moral lesson. We want to live our lives the way the painting lives its. If you found this video interesting, please like and subscribe.